Scarborough Fair. This song is based on new time signature 3/8. 3/8, it's the same concept as we had with the 4/4 or 2/4 or 3/4. The top number represents the number of beats in each measure. So here you can see that it says 3 beats in a measure, and then 8 on the bottom represents the eighth notes, the eighth note right here. So, and you can read here, the eighth note gets 1 beat. So literally what it means, in every measure you're going to have, if you look at the first measure in this first rhythm pattern exercises, you can see that you have 3 eighth notes in this first measure, and then you have a bar line, another 1, 2, 3, and another bar line, and then also don't forget how your eighth rests look like. So that's your eighth rest. The only one new concept here is that now you have to kind of think about your eighth note as 1 beat. So before we had a quarter note as a 1 beat, but because of a new time signature, it's like a new rule happens here. Now you need to count your eighth notes. Then you have to think, how many eighth notes do you have in 1 quarter note? There are 2 eighths in the quarter note. 2 eighths in the quarter note, and since you're counting your eighth as a beat, then it means that a quarter note now gets 2 beats. Now let's look at the dotted quarter. Normally it would be 1.5 beat, but again, it would be true if you have a fourth in here when you would count your quarter note as a beat. But since we're counting eighth notes, you have to think, okay, how many eighth notes can I fit into 1 dotted quarter? So again, if you think about quarter note, it has 2 beats, 2 eighths inside. So with the dot, it makes 1 more eighth. Total is 3 beats. Okay. So, and also check out these rests. You have an eighth rest, a quarter rest that has 2 beats, and a whole rest has 3 beats. Remember, a whole rest, when you see it like in your Scarborough Fair song, when you have an empty measure, the whole measure, when you have that whole rest, it represents the whole measure of rest. It doesn't matter if it's 3/4 or 4/4. When you have nothing here to play, you will always see that a whole rest. Okay. All right. Well, let's start with Scarborough Fair. Your hand positions are in D position, D minor. We will use a paddle here as well. So let's just check out our left hand pattern first. It starts with left hand. So you have dotted quarters. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and again back to the D minor. 1, 2, 3. So that would be your left hand pattern for a while, and then measure 5. We start with the melody. So let's count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. And then your hand moves to the A note. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Move your left hand an octave lower. Right hand does not move anywhere and plays the D major chord. Okay. The resolution is actually in the major, D major chord. We will study that later a little bit. It's called Picardy third. It's when you have a minor song in the minor key, and then at the very end, suddenly you hear the major. Okay. So let me play it one more time from the very beginning. Scarborough Fair, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.